What's going on this week in Nerf?
Hello and welcome to This Week in Nerf, your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. I'm Adriana and we have some cool community blasters to discuss, as well as a couple of weird ones, so let's get started. D-Dart already has been weird but fun with their Gauntlet blasters. This time, however, they seem to have asked, what if we made a Strife? Entries for the D-Dart Derecho have appeared on Target's website, and it seems funky. It has the same style of grip and battery tray as recent models, but features what appears to be a semi-auto trigger. It also comes with a 6-round N-Strike magazine and storage for another magazine on the bottom. It's only $20, but also seems a bit awkward. No clue yet on how it'll handle with the Worker 22 sticking out of the top, but maybe the magazine storage will balance things a little bit. Meanwhile, there's also an entry for the rival version, the Derecho Hailstorm. It goes for $35 and comes with its own rival magazine, as well as storage for another on the bottom. Based on the extended handle, it looks like the batteries load from the bottom, but we don't know yet what size or how many. And finally, if none of those appeal to you, you can just take the original and slap on a phone holder and call it a day. I'm not sure a slightly different Tempest is worth $40, so the augmented reality better be amazing. Dart Zone's had a fun week. On an Instagram livestream, Dart Zone and Drac discussed the Jurassic Pro, which is slowly appearing on shelves nationwide, but they also introduced 2 other blasters coming soon. The Pyroraptor is a pump-action slam-fire magazine-fed blaster for $30. The stock is adjustable and swappable with other Pro stocks. Meanwhile, this blue blaster is modeled after the movie Velociraptor, and it's a 4-shot revolver. A price was not mentioned for this one, but both blasters will be regular blasters for all ages, firing Adventure Force waffles, and will appear on shelves in June alongside the movie. And I'll be getting both because, well, dinosaurs. Duh. Hasbro has a few new patents listed publicly. In Europe, they have a design patent for the Ultra Strike, which is essentially a reshell of the amp. That has already popped up in a couple of places like Korea, and there's a link below if you want to see it on video. However, the more interesting paper is a US patent for electronic dart tag. Yeah, dart tag is not only back, but it's serious. There is so much in here that I still don't understand, but even looking at the drawings, so many things have been thought out. Wireless gear that tracks where you are and what you're firing at, smart darts with conductive tips, blasters that wirelessly charge the dart electronics, conductive suits that are custom printable for designs and sponsors, game modes with interactive objectives, and even the programming tree for how the system tracks everything is in there. There's so much more, but if Hasbro is willing to put this much effort into mapping out all of this, it means we could see this at their arenas or even a new series of dart tag events. This is one of the holy grails of dart tech. It's making the game as accessible and trackable as laser tag. No issues with not taking your hits, and you can have stats on every player's performance. What is concerning here is the existence of the patent application itself, and I'm hopeful that they're not actually awarded the patent, because that would mean Hasbro might have a monopoly on smart dart tech for the foreseeable future. It would mean the death of Orange Mobworks Cybertech line, if that's even still happening, or any other competition in the smart dart space. Many people in the hobby have been chasing this idea of hit detection via smart darts, and if Hasbro is awarded the patent, we'll never have any kind of open source hobby solution that can be sold, unless a company from another country does it and is willing to ship to the US. We will have to wait and see, and I hope that Hasbro makes their system available to all and customizable in ways that lets our competitive scene utilize them, but I worry this will only be for Nerf branded arenas and will be a completely closed off ecosystem. Worker has a kit in the works for turning the rival Fate into a fancy Cheetah 2.0. The kit adds a Talon magazine well, once a few shell cuts are made. There's no auto retract mechanism on this one, so you will have to move the barrel by hand. So far, the kit is only on Taobao, but we're hoping to stock it by the end of the month. Fingers crossed. Shifting gears to the community, we have several new blasters. Out of Singapore, we have a 3D printed Halo M6 from quirkblaster that's powered by a rubber band. Yeah, that's still a thing. It uses the back of the slide to prime instead of the whole thing like the Boomco blaster, but it looks pretty light, so that's alright. The pistol takes angled Talon magazines, and since it's 3D printed, it can be any color you want. It looks like it should be pretty easy to assemble yourself, and you can buy the hardware kit, the files, or the assembled blaster, all on quirkblaster's Etsy page. If you enjoy dumping ammo on your opponents, the Hippogriff Alternator might just be the thing you need. It's a bullpup flywheeler blaster that has 2 flywheel cages, 2 magazine wells, and a full auto strife kit that alternates barrels. Just imagine gluing 2 blasters together, and that's pretty much what you got here. The most insane part is that the designer Spudrogue made all of this in Tinkercad. If you know anything about 3D modeling, then you know he decided to do this in hard mode. The look of the blaster is too freaking cool, but it's probably a rough build with 65 files and no instructions. But if you're willing to take on the challenge and 1 mag, 1 tag just isn't enough for you, the files are on Spugroad 420's Thingiverse page. Silly Butts is being weird again and thought the Talonclaw doesn't need any hardware, as you can tell from the cheeky emblem he has on the side of the blaster. The only metal in this design is a spring. Almost everything is printed, the priming arms, the barrel, even the plunger tube, 3D prints. There aren't any screws or pins, the blaster just needs 3 O-rings, 3 rubber bands, and a 7/8/8 spring. If you were really cutting down on the hardware, you could even print the O-rings and TPU. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. It only shoots 120 FPS, but something tells me that performance wasn't the point here. If you really want to try this, Silly Butts has the files on GitHub. And last but not least, a public service announcement: stop buying headshot ammo. As shown by Out of Darts, the quality control on this brand of rival ammo has gone way down from when they first appeared. The weights are all over the place, stock ammo is significantly heavier than these now, but the worst part is how stiff they are. They have so little squish that they can stall out your flywheel blasters, and that's really bad. So even if they're cheap on Amazon, don't buy them until this is fixed. And that brings us to the mod of the week, and this week it comes to us from Jolt King with a shotgun pistol that they named Oops, All Internals. This thing is goofy and made from so many scraps. Functionally, it's an Apollo, but there is no resemblance left. It is now super small and shotguns darts instead. The disgraced Apollo guts have been maybe not so lovingly encased in the guts of other blasters. The handles made from plunger tubes, dart pegs, and hot glue are everywhere. It's a cute little abomination, and I love the commitment to the theme. Thank you for sharing that. And that is all the news I have for this week. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, the links to everything that I talked about are down in the description, along with the like button, the subscribe button, and all the other YouTube stuff. And I thought I should let you guys know that I heard on the grapevine, this is talkative grapes, that it's probably a good idea to watch Jimmy Kimmel live this Wednesday. So, you know, I don't usually watch late night television, but this week I will. And you should too. I will see you Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, every 2 weeks, right here. I said that in a weird order of words, but sometimes that's just how it is. I'm gonna go now, bye! Yeah, one of those is fine.